Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Mathilda. So guys, today is a sunscreen video. You guys love these types of videos so much, and today I'm going to be reviewing the La Roche Posay Anthelios Invisible Fluid SPF 50 sunscreen. So I know this is not what you're expecting. That is because this is a sample. I got this when I was purchasing other skincare products, and I didn't even realize I had this sunscreen with me, and I actually wanted to buy it. But when I found out that I had a sample, I just had to do a review on it, so I don't have to waste money, right? I will know if I actually like the sunscreen before I go on to purchase it. So if you would like to see me do a review on this sunscreen right here, this is gonna be a first impression, then keep on watching. You know the usual, let's talk about the details of this sunscreen. This is the La Roche Posay Anthelios Invisible Fluid Sunscreen. It's a chemical sunscreen. It has an SPF of 50. It retails for $32. In Nigeria, you can get it from 16 to 20k. In Europe, you can get it for 19.90 pounds. The actual product is 50 ml and it has UVA and UVB protection. Now, what are the claims about this sunscreen? This sunscreen claims to be water resistant up to 80 minutes. It claims to be sweat resistant. It claims to be anti-eye stinging. It claims to be for sensitive skin. It claims to be non-comedogenic, fragrance-free, non-greasy, and also for normal to combination skin. Now we know what this product claims to be about. Let's test it out. For the application, I'm going to do one side with moisturizer and the other side without moisturizer. Let's see how well this sunscreen pairs with moisturizer. And for moisturizer, I'm going to be using my usual ILLIYOON Ceramide Atoll Concentrate Cream. I'll just apply the moisturizer on one side of my face. Now it's time to apply the sunscreen. So we don't have a lot to work with, so I just have to apply it everywhere. Okay, smell something. Oh, it's very runny. The sunscreen is very runny. Oh, like, ooh, it's very runny. Crying. Let me see if I can put it on my hands and do the 2-finger method. Let's blend out the sunscreen. Start out with the side I didn't put moisturizer. It's blending really easily. It said it's anti-eye stinging, so let me put it close to my eyes and see if it's gonna sting. Ooh, it blends so easily. Wow. And it's so lightweight. Oh, wow. Wow. Blends really, really nice. Put it on my eyes. Let's see. Safe for the eyes. I smell alcohol. Let's blend this side with moisturizer. This is the finish of the sunscreen right here. In our usual fashion, I'm going to see how well this sunscreen reapplies. So I'm just going to use what is left in here to reapply. Act as if we've gone about our day. It's now 3 hours and we want to reapply our sunscreen. So I'm just going to finish everything right now. This was what I was able to squeeze out for the reapplication. So let us reapply this sunscreen. This sunscreen claims to be water resistant, so I am definitely gonna try it out and see how well it resists water, because it said it's water resistant for how many minutes? 80 minutes. So let's see. Oh, I still got myself wet, so that was literally pointless. I struggle to understand what this company mean when they say they are water resistant because I don't know, I don't think this is water resistant. You guys should let me know in the comment section if you think this sunscreen is water resistant. Just gonna rub the sunscreen in. because I'm gonna do one last test. Although they didn't have any claims regarding makeup, this is just my own personal test to see how well it works with makeup. So I think the reason why this sunscreen is dripping down so much is because it has a very watery consistency. So the water I applied is just bringing out the consistency even more, but it's still blending in. I just want you guys to let me know if you think this sunscreen is water resistant or not. The final test is the powder test. So I'm just going to apply my face powder all over my face and see how well it works with this sunscreen, because this is what I would do on the day I am going out. I would apply sunscreen, then apply powder. Looks pretty well so far. It's not smudging or anything, it's just blending pretty good. So now we're done with all of the testing of the La Roche Posay SPF 50 sunscreen. Let's talk about the pros and the cons, because there would always be pros and cons, you know that. Before I get into the pros and the cons of the sunscreen, let's talk about the finish of the sunscreen. This sunscreen doesn't have a matte finish. It has a really glowy finish. So it is up to you to decide if that is a pro or a con. For me, I don't have a problem with the finish of the sunscreen. This sunscreen leans towards the glowy side. So if you have oily skin and you're looking for something that is not too glowy, you might not really like the sunscreen, but the glowiness is something that I actually don't mind. So it's up to you to decide what you think about that. So the first pro about the sunscreen is I love the texture. I love how runny and watery and lightweight it is, because wow, it feels like you're not even applying anything. Another thing I like about this sunscreen is it doesn't leave a white cast, obviously. The third pro about this sunscreen is that it blends really easily. It is such a nice feeling when you don't have to spend minutes blending your sunscreen. It blends so easily. The texture is amazing. Another thing I like about this sunscreen is that it does not sting the eyes. Ooh, I placed the sunscreen all over my eyes multiple times. It doesn't sting the eyes. So for that, I will really give it to them, because they said it is anti-eye stinging, and the fact that it doesn't sting the eye, it is a really big plus for me. Another thing I like about this sunscreen is that even though I applied moisturizer on this side and no moisturizer on this side, there was literally no difference. It's blended the same way. So you can use the sunscreen with a moisturizer and you can use it without a moisturizer. Although I would recommend you use it with a moisturizer just because of the alcohol it contains. But I like the fact that even without moisturizer, no difference. And I also like the fact that this sunscreen is not sticky and it doesn't peel. No matter the amount I added, the sunscreen still didn't peel, so that is good. Another thing I like about this sunscreen is it does not have fragrance. They say it does not have fragrance. I don't know if they put fragrance in it, but I like the fact that it doesn't have fragrance. So the fact that it doesn't have fragrance and the fact that it doesn't sting the eyes makes it such a suitable sunscreen for people that have sensitive skin. Now let's go on to the cons of this sunscreen. The first con of this sunscreen is, well, personal preference. That is what I would say first of all, is the fact that it contains alcohol. Alcohol is the second ingredient in this sunscreen, and if you have sensitive skin and you are sensitive to alcohol in skincare products, you might not like the sunscreen. But if you're not sensitive to alcohol, for me personally, I don't mind alcohol in my sunscreen, because first of all, alcohol has a role to play in sunscreens and skincare ingredients. Alcohol is used in skincare to help preserve it, and it is also the reason why the skincare product is lightweight and very easy to spread. So that alcohol is what is causing the sunscreen to be lightweight, and it's that lightweightness that we love about the sunscreen. So the alcohol helps a lot with the texture of the sunscreen. But then again, alcohol can be sensitizing to some people's skin. It can cause irritation and it can cause dryness. So pick your poison. If it's not something you like, you're not gonna like the sunscreen. So the best thing I'll tell you is do a patch test. before you go full on with this sunscreen, so you don't have all these extreme side effects. You understand? Having a sample like this would also go a long way for you to determine if you would like to buy the sunscreen or not. So alcohol is personal preference, so I'll just leave it in the cons because it's leaning toward the cons than the pros, right? Another con about this sunscreen is the fact that this sunscreen has a small size. Now when you buy the sunscreen, obviously this is not what you're gonna get because this is a sample. It's just 3 ml. When you buy the sunscreen, you're going to get 50 ml. Brands should not be making sunscreen that are just 50 ml. You guys want people to buy the sunscreen. You want us to use it every 2 hours. Some people even say every 1 hour. And you're doing 50 ml sunscreen. Chelsea, come on now. I am not a fan of 50 ml sunscreens because it's like, just make it bigger, please. So that is a con for me. I don't like small sunscreen. Another thing about the sunscreen is that this sunscreen is on the high side. This sunscreen is, depending on where you buy it from, 16,000 to 20,000 naira or $32. And to me, I feel like it's on the high side for the amount of product you're getting. No doubt it is a good sunscreen, but if you're going to be making the sunscreen, please make it bigger because the price I don't like the price. That's why it took me a while to get the sunscreen, because I was just thinking I have cheaper sunscreens that I like, but I just wanted to do a review for you guys so you guys will have options. So when I saw the sample, I was really happy because it meant I didn't have to spend so much money to buy the sunscreen. So the price and the size, they're not matching up. At least 100 ml at least. Please, can you do that for us? If the price of sunscreen is high, please just make it a little bit bigger so that we can use it for a long time, not every 2 weeks buying sunscreen. Who has that money? Another con about the sunscreen is about an ingredient I noticed in the ingredient list, which is isopropyl myristate. This ingredient is a possible comedogenic ingredient, meaning that it can clog your pores. Now here's the thing that baffles me. This sunscreen claims to be non-comedogenic, but in the ingredients list there is isopropyl myristate, which is a comedogenic ingredient. So I don't know, man, that part is a con for me, because if something is comedogenic, it means it has the potential to clog your pores. So if you don't properly wash off the sunscreen from your face in the evening, at night, it might clog your pores. But they say it's non-comedogenic, so I don't know what to believe here. You have a comedogenic ingredient, but it says non-comedogenic. Maybe they formulated it to be non-comedogenic. I really don't know, but that is something to just note. So it is up to you to decide what you want. So guys, before I go on to talk about my final thoughts on this sunscreen, I think there are some things I need to share with you guys before we conclude this video. Before I started this video, I went on to do some research on this sunscreen to check out the Roche Posay website and see what they claim about the sunscreen, and I found out that they have a newly formulated version of this sunscreen which is now available, and that is called the La Roche Posay Anthelios UV Mune 400. So that is like an amplification of this sunscreen. That sunscreen claims to have 2 extra UV filters that this one does not have. I'll check the ingredients list, and that isopropyl myristate, which I did not like in this sunscreen, which is pore clogging, was removed. But it's not the new one we're reviewing. We're reviewing this sunscreen right here because this sunscreen is still publicly available. Another thing I need to let you guys know about this sunscreen is that this sunscreen varies by region. Yeah, I was a bit surprised when I found out that there's a different sunscreen for the US and there's a different sunscreen for Europe. You might come across the one that they sell in US, or you might come across the one they sell in Europe. The one in US is the La Roche Posay Anthelios Ultra Light Fluid Facial Sunscreen SPF 60. The one in US doesn't have some UV filters because those ingredients are not allowed in USA. The one in Europe is the La Roche Posay Anthelios UV Mune 400 Invisible Fluid SPF 50. Sunscreen in Europe has more UV filters than the one in USA. So they claim that there's really not much difference between the two sunscreens. They're actually the same sunscreens. It's just that one lacks some ingredients that the other doesn't. So I think maybe because the USA one does not have that UV ingredients, that's why they increased the SPF to 60 instead of the 50 that the general ones have. I have no idea. I was confused when I was checking it out. I'm not even gonna lie, but that's not what this video is about. This video is about this sunscreen right here. So if I buy that new version, I would then do a review based on that sunscreen. But now this review is based on this sunscreen. I hope you guys are not confused. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comment section. So here are my final thoughts on the La Roche Posay Anthelios Invisible Fluid SPF 50 sunscreen. First of all, I like the fact that it's so lightweight. You guys know how much I love lightweight sunscreens. I don't want to be feeling sunscreen on my face throughout the day. I also like the fact that the sunscreen does not have a white cast. The finish of the sunscreen is a 50-50 for me. Although I like this sunscreen, it's a sunscreen that I would definitely wear again. Would I be repurchasing the sunscreen? I would not be repurchasing the sunscreen. Now, this is why I would not be repurchasing the sunscreen. I don't like the fact that the sunscreen is small and it's also pricey. If the sunscreen was bigger, maybe 100 ml, 70 ml, I would be repurchasing it. But because it is just 50 ml, me repurchasing it is just like me throwing away money, because in 2 weeks the sunscreen will be finished and I'll have to go and buy another one. And also because of this ingredient, isopropyl myristate, is a bit risky because I don't want anything that will clog my pores. The fact that they said it's non-comedogenic, but they have this comedogenic ingredients, side eye. But I would definitely be more open to try this new version because of the fact that it doesn't have that ingredient, because that ingredient really made it lose a lot of points for me. The next question is, would I be recommending this sunscreen? Yes, I would actually be recommending the sunscreen. I would recommend the sunscreen if you have sensitive skin and if you have combination skin. For oily skin, it's 50-50. If you like the glowy finish, I would recommend it for you. But if you don't like the glowy finish, I will not be recommending for you. Then for sensitive skin, if you don't mind alcohol, I would recommend the sunscreen for you. But if you mind alcohol, I would not be recommending the sunscreen for you. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment section. If I didn't answer something, let me know in the comment section. What sunscreen would you like me to buy and try out? Do you guys want me to try out the improved version of the sunscreen? Let me know in the comment section below. Or if you guys want to see me outside of YouTube, you can check me out on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, TikTok, or Mathildaduku. If you guys want me to have money to buy all these sunscreens to try out for you, please watch my ads, subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, share this video to anyone that you think might be interested in this video. Thank you guys for all the love and support. I really appreciate you guys so much. You guys are the absolute best, like no cap, you guys are the best. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.